evening, everyone. It's another exciting Wednesday evening right here in the city of Lagos. My name is Jade Sola Adewodun, the host for the Find Your Voice series. Find Your Voice on Your Space series is a series that brings in together career professionals and business leaders where they share their stories of how they found their voices in their different spheres of influence and how they are currently owning their spaces. This is the 19th episode of this show, and I'm super duper elated. Last week, we had the honor of speaking to one of the key players in the tourism industry in Nigeria, in the person of Otumba Michael Balogun. And it was a mind blowing, robust conversation. And there was no better time for me to be a proud Nigerian as I was last week. And it's very important that you visit that on YouTube at Lady Jade Global. We are streaming live on LinkedIn at Jade Sola Adewodun, and we are live on YouTube at Lady Jade Global. Today we have a very innovative mind. His mind is a nice place to be in, if you get what I mean. He hasn't only founded one organization, but two, um, always plugging into gaps, creating solutions to places where his skills and his creative wisdom can solve. He used to be a product designer, and then he transitioned from that to being a founder of two amazing organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super duper excited to bring on stage tonight my friend and my brother of yesteryears, Alex Oyebade. You see, as for me, humility, sir, you're live. You're live on stage. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
It's so good. It's so good to have you here. I'm super excited. I mean, the last time that we saw in
Mm,
person was when you had a class, and that class was one of the highlights of my year that year. I think it was 2 years ago, last year. I really can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago,
mhm,
and it was really beautiful. Seeing how you're helping people come out of themselves to understand that the greatest asset that they have is
mhm,
their
mhm,
mind.
mhm,
Understanding that they have the power within them to step into the awesomeness that they
mhm,
envision. So coming out of their heads into the awesomeness that they can
mhm.
manifest in real time. And I'm super duper excited to have you on this show
Thank you very, very
tonight.
much.
So from product
Mhm.
designer to CEO, how did this all begin? Ow, because somewhere in my mind, I honestly felt you're going to be a life coach at some point,
Yeah.
but apart, let's
Yeah,
just start
pass.
from the very beginning. How did it honestly, like,
Ooh.
see, I was actually shocked when I realized that you founded. I'm like, okay, at least
Mhm.
just one. You now go ahead to find two. Okay, don't let me talk. Over to you.
Right. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for having me here. It's really, really great. The beautiful things that you also are doing from afar, just looking, not even from afar, a bit close, but then seeing everything, especially with your event comparing, uh, presenting, the wins that you've been. I'm like, see, that's my friend now. It's really, really wonderful to see. So big ups to you. Super proud and impressed by you.
Thank you.
Um, Product design, and then CEO, and then life coach. When I was having the conversation with my mentor's wife to say, this is who I was and this is who I am, I think a transition. She said, Alex, do not see it as a transition. It's another expression of who you are, you know. And then I
Mm,
then went, I took that personally, went in deeply to truly understand what is she trying to say. And then I arrived at a personal identity that, then resonates across board. I think I have something here that would explain that. See,
okay.
what is this? This is my personal. There
That's
you
a
go.
compass.
So that's now the person. personal identity that I arrived at. So either you are a life coach, what you're doing is giving people direction from one point to next. Either you're a product designer, someone will come to you with a random idea and say, "Oh, I have this idea. It's going to make people do this and that, da, 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 da. Help people." Okay, I take that idea, take it from wherever, lead it, through multiple journeys to get it to something that people can use all over the world, if possible. As a matter of fact, there's a process in product design that you design that is called customer journey, meaning you are helping customer from point A, problem, to point B, solution or result. So product
Solution.
design is also still another manifestation of being a compass. And then we get to my first startup. It's called Vynture. Vynture help creator to grow, to monetize, and then to scale. Right. So it's still taking either you have 5,000 followers or 50K or 500K or 5 million. You also want some more.
Mm-hmm.
Some, how can you extract enough economic value from your social capital? Right. So either 5K followers or 10K or whatever, how to take from where you are to where you want to be is what Venture does. And then with the most recent one, Peercheck, that I love, particularly for some reason, it's also a a professional wanting to, you know, get into another space. So point A to point B. What happens here is what Alex Oyebade is all about. You're here, you recognize the fact that here is not where you would like to be, and you want to come here. So what happens here is where I am now situated, either as as a product person or as a life coach or as a person in conversations. What we're doing is from here to here. Even from this podcast self, if I want to be DJ and somehow is okay, we have started now, we would have a result at the end. So what happens in the between, is where Alex Bade shines.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still me. No, don't get it twisted. It's still me. One other thing I do on the side is also work with like creators like yourself, to say this is what you're doing. So it's an
Mm-hmm.
extension of Venture as a product, but it's more personal, where I then work
Yeah.
with creators to say. So since like 2020, I've been studying the creator economy, and I see the potentials. I see what people are doing across the world. What's his name? Mr. Beast. A few years ago, raised $100 million as a business. So so they invested it in him, and it was valued at $1 billion, company. So he's a unicorn as a creator, and I know it's the
Yeah.
extreme of the capacities or the possibilities that can happen to a creator, but it can still happen to you or for you as a 5K, 50K follower creator also. You can do whatsoever you would like to do based on your based on the things that you currently have. So in all the things that I've said, it's still me being the compass.
All right. Fantastic. Now, how has your background in product design and user
Mhm.
experience shaped your approach in building
Mm.
Venture?
I mean, building any product at all, whenever you see a product and you start using it, what will make you come back to that product is how it made you feel. If it made you come back, because the brain does not like to feel down. The moment your makes someone feel like they are not smart, they can figure it out, they are not going to come back.
They want to.
Yeah. So, and there's the law, as a matter of fact, in UX that every platform look alike in a way. I'm paraphrasing to say that's why there's the double tap would always be like on any platform. If you double tap, you will like that post, you will like that thing on any platform, Substack, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. And it will always be this guy or a hat, right? So everybody know that. If you now want to do your own and you make it a foot, it's not going to go nowhere. People will not figure out what it does, right? So um, the the when you want to build something that resonates with people, that they find easy to use, building it in a way that resembles their mental model, meaning what they're already familiar
Familiar with.
with, any product at all. Yeah, really, really good to use.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Now, when you're a product designer, you were resident in Nigeria, and then you had
Mhm.
to transition to the US.
Mhm.
Now, how has that? I'm going to rephrase that. Has your switch or change in location affected your modus operandi in business?
I would say it affected my, using your word, modus operandi as a person, because when I got here, for the first 3 months, I wanted a job at the time because of and all of that. But when I got my work authorization, I then did not want to work anymore. It's so
Hmm.
funny.
Why is
I
that?
don't know. So within those 3 months, I was also reading some materials, and
Hmm.
for instance, this guy. I don't know if it is mirrored, but
That's a
this is a popular
yeah.
guy. But the book they know is Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it has much more than like 10 books in that one. Is increase your financial IQ. And what he's saying here is the game is rigged to people who have businesses, or for people who have businesses. Right? There's a level of success or level of economic success that you would attain that is capped for you as an employee, right? So when I'm
Hmm.
now able to work, I just decided I'm not gonna work anymore. Like in less than a year that I've been here, I've registered 3 companies, separate companies. There's Vynture in the US, Vynture, Peercheck, and then there's another one. It's a real estate investment company. But that one is the back burner, right?
Okay.
So I just decided I'm
It's in
gonna,
the works.
yeah. It's not in the works. It's fully done. It's just get come at me, like let it be
Yeah.
breathing over there, and then let's get stuff done here, and
Let
then
it breathe.
let it breathe. You get. Um. Um. So it just changed my mind entirely. I've always been a creative person. I know. I've always been that guy that wants to do stuff. That's where my class, where main man came from. Multiple expressions over the years, but that one just drastically changed my mind entirely. That the people who are doing the things that are supposed to be done in the world are the ones who are even looking to hire somebody like me. So who
Hmm.
will hire the next person if I continue to remain their employee? Right? That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is there's a level of economic success that you will not be able to capture if you remain an employee. And then the last part that broke the camel's back for me, I think, is if you are successful as an employee, you cannot transfer your wealth or the value you have captured as an employee to your child to say, oh, come and resume my post here. So being an employee is not generationally transferable. However, if you build a business, it can be in your family forever. For instance, Walmart belongs to the Samu Walton family forever. John D. Rockefeller's family will continuously
Yes.
remain fortune. Like the people we know as the richest people in the world today, they're not actually as rich as some families. Wealth resides in families, not individuals.
Yes.
Individuals can be the first today, and then eventually become maybe second later. But you see, families is there, is locked in, and then your name alone can then open doors for multiple people in the future. So
Windows.
yeah, that's the idea
Hmm.
behind me just deciding. Okay, you see this entrepreneurship, that's what we want to do. I mean, entrepreneurship is even is a big word. What we're saying is let's build businesses. But is it doable? Absolutely. So
All right. Thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed, how you broke it down, understanding that Being an employee, you cannot transfer the work that you have to your child to resume what you want to, do. Because sometimes for some people, the children don't even want to pursue whatever career they're pursuing. But once it's a family business, wealth stays in families. I mean, giving credence to the men who built America, watching that series is a big eye opener to how generational wealth is being built as an entrepreneur. Now, you are simultaneously building venture for creators and paycheck for African professionals. How do you manage the context switching? And what synergies have you put in place to manage between
Before we
empowering
move
creators
to
and
this question that
empower?
you're about to ask,
What?
sorry, before you move to this,
Yeah,
can you can you
yeah.
hear me?
I can please go on.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, so sorry for cutting you. This next
Loud and clear.
question, there's
Please
something
go on.
that I would like to include,
Okay.
which
Okay.
is that I think there's a lag, but what I've seen in my study of immigrants here, particularly Africans, when they come here, what they're coming here to do is to look for work and fine,
Hmm.
you know, to employees to become of the corporate but it's a set of people that when they get here, businesses, no matter how small, Indians, the entire Asian community, they get here, what they want to do is start
Yeah.
a business because they just know the best way to capture as much from a capitalist society. Nigeria is another capitalist society. The best way to capture as
It's
much
to create a
economic value
business.
is to start a business, you know. And I don't want to repeat what my ancestors have done for so long. Just take the road less traveled and see,
Hmm.
and see where that leads.
So now to the question: how do you switch context? Venture for creators, peer check for
Professionals.
employers. What synergies? How do you juggle both balls?
Well, um, one is that they do not exist on the same timeline. So Venture has been since late last year, I think December last year, and then Peercheck, as a matter of fact, is less than 3 months old. So
Okay.
the the timeline is different, and the deliverables are sort of different. Peercheck is going to be live 31st of October. So the work is, oh, we are building. Vynture has been live since 4th of July. So the work is marketing. So what is needed on the two is different. So it's easy to switch. If the two requires building, then there might be some level of context switching that might be needed. Um, but yeah, so it's just being able to fully recognize this is what I'm good at and stick with that. And what I am also done is partnerships. Never founded a company by myself. I always have co-founders who can do really good stuff. Like, but on venture side of things, I have a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. I have a CEO, and the
Okay.
CMO. So I did my work to build the product. The CMO currently is doing his work to market the product, to take the product out there. And with PeerCheck, I have a CEO and I'm CEO. She is the one who is in charge of like operations and ensuring that we get stuff done. We had an exhibition at an event for product designers in Lagos on
Yeah.
Saturday. I was not able to be there. She went there. All right. So it's just being able to extend abilities by leveraging someone else's expertise. So that is what I've done over time. Oh, that is what I've been able to do across the two ventures, and it's been great. You know, yeah, know what you can do, stick with it, and then recognize what would help much more, and then get them on board. I think it's also one thing that every individual, particularly leaders, should figure out how how you can, one, communicate your so much that it resonates with other people and they are willing to join whatsoever you're building, either paid or unpaid. The moment you're able to master that level of influential messaging, persuasive communication, then you are moving up as a leader. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. But I'm also really curious. You have rightly said that you had to leverage on the strengths of other people
Mhm,
who do better on other skills that is not particularly your strength.
mhm.
Now, do you run a volunteer model
No
or you run a commission model?
commission. No.
Let me land. Let me land first. Let excuse. Hello, sir. Let me breathe. Do you understand me now? Let me land. So,
Oh, yeah,
so
lad.
what model? Because for some organizations, they run commission models, they run volunteer models, and they have actual teams that they that they employ. Now, for these teams that you employ, are they largely remotely employed, and are they only from Nigeria? Or they are different parts of the world.
For now, just from Nigeria, but it's not a
Okay.
volunteer model. Um, about 95% of the people that work with me are paid. The people that are not paid are the C-level executives, like the CMO, the CEO, the CTO, the COO. All those people are not paid, and that's because we've not raised significant funding yet. The moment we're able to do that, these people also will be paid. But the people who work on the product, marketing side, um,
Bless you.
yeah, thank you. Like everybody's paid. Laura Consha, nobody's paid. Even when I was in Nigeria, even when I was in Nigeria, I would collect my salary and split this one, that's my own. This one, it will be distributed to the people that are working with me. Because again, it's biblical to pay the people that work for you. Say a worker is worthy of his wages. You do not work. You
What
do
them
not
his wages?
yeah. You do not have people who then don't pay them. I do not do that. So we'll have a conversation and
Okay,
say
fantastic. Thank you
this is how
so much
much
for that.
I can pay, and I'll pay that.
Yeah. Mm. That's really fantastic. And what you have just said reminds me of a story that I read recently about a particular founder who had CEO, by the way.
Mm,
He figured that his um, employees were underpaid, and he also found out that he was overpaid. So he slashed his own salary into half,
hmm
and then all that was left, he then had to distribute it to all the other employees. And that even though a lot of investors were worried, some analysts were like, "Why would you do that?" But then in 5 years,
hmm
they then found out that the employees became very committed. They became
hmm
very loyal.
hmm
Revenue went like by 50%. Things were just, it became like more like a family model.
hmm
Now I'm curious. You say your CC team are not being paid. And is it that they are bound by the vision, or it's more of a support system that they they just believe that when this thing becomes big, they know that they have a reward to get from it? Because it makes no sense that you're doing this kind of work, even though I want to believe that they have other streams of income, or they have other ways where they
They
they do
make money.
work and they have paid work, they make money. But what exactly did you say to them
Okay, there's the part.
for them to step into these roles
There's the part of
and run with the vision?
equity play rather. Um, you have some level of ownership in the business, so it's your business, as a matter of fact. So you make it work,
Okay.
right? So the people you will talk to also, they are the people who are like internally also. They also want to build businesses. They want to create stuff that
Mm.
is meaningful. They want to be a contributor to something that is, um, you know,
And them.
monumental, and so when you see someone who is having a purposeful, existential kind of conversation, that want to do something that is beyond them, something that can solve problems for other people. And those are the kind of people you talk to, and then you say, okay, this is what we have, this is the equity play, this is how much you would own of the company, and then you agree on that, and everybody move forward.
And all documents are signed, not verbally,
Sometimes it is verbal.
properly documented.
Sometimes it's so there's stuff that we call handshake deal. You just agree on that. You trust the person to be what's it called, to be a person of integrity, and then they also trust you to be same too, before you get to the place where you sign deals. Because as a startup, what is your greatest superpower is speed of execution, right? So you do not want to
Hmm.
bog your speed down by worrying about the legal encumbrances. Yes, they are important, but they are not as important as your product. Get the product out first now. Yeah, tea. We've not gotten to the market, and we are already fighting about legalities. So eventually, we can sign documents and make everything clean and clear. Which is why either through
Yes.
emails or chats, they are binding. This is what we agreed. If you are not doing against something outside of that, then we can sue you. Then
Hmm.
all the ugliness can then start happening for somebody who is without integrity. But when we are truly clear about this is what we want to do, but we don't need to do it now because there's work to be done. There's actual work that needs to be done. So if you sign the document and not do the work, who is at fault then, or joke on everybody then? Do you get? But let's get the work done. Yeah, so we have a handshake deal, but let's
Get the
get
work
the work
started.
done. The
Yeah.
work is the most important part. The work has to be done. Right. One of my mentors would say, do the work
Hmm.
of your work, do the business of your business. So let's go do it first. And then we sign.
Hmm.
To sign document, easy part. But I cannot just sign document for a product that is not even live yet. Right. A lot of builders build and tinker and tweak and do a lot of things and would not launch. You know, I have learned very early.
Hmm.
In 2021, I even built another startup. It's called with a friend. It's called Buy Me Job. It's a reward system for creators also. That's how I got into the creator economy, and we did but launch. You and I
Wow.
promised myself I shall never be in that situation again.
Never
Right? We
again.
did. We signed documents, but we did not launch. Right. So in my life, we are going to do the work, but then we'll sign the work. The work is priority because that is what people experience and people would love. There are projects there that is solving big problems that their founders have fought and they have scattered, but the product is there. And that's the reason we started
Hmm.
the business to solve this
Still
problem, right? Let's solve the problem.
in the
As a
first
matter
place.
of fact, the biggest
Hmm.
company that is privately held today is OpenAI, the father of ChatGPT. But did you know that OpenAI was founded by Sam Altman and Elon Musk? But it got to a point
Interesting.
they fought and they scattered the relationship now. It's all over. But ChatGPT
Open AI is still the product is still, yeah, it's still meeting the needs of the end users.
is still changing the world. Product is changing the world. DAL-E, another product, is changing the world. Is leading. Is showing people what is possible in machine learning, in big data, in artificial intelligence, right? Even though they founded OpenAI as a
Yeah.
non-profit organization, ChatGPT is for profit. That's why Elon Musk is so important that NGO last start, a one business there and shape, a corporate, whatever. Signed contract, but then they got the work done. They are fought, but the product is still so. Imagine life now without ChatGPT. It's just like life before Apple. People could not remember how they functioned without mobile phones and Apple devices before it came. Same with ChatGPT now, right? Then
Yeah.
it is also
Hmm.
possible that will be how your product will be. It will be if And when we are able to,
Mm-hmm.
if and when we are what we want it to be by God's grace, it will be impossible to think how were people applying for jobs without
Without this,
you get. Imagine me now delaying that possibility of a future because we want to sign paper, right? Signing paper is important, but get the work done. Push, launch, take your product out there, let people use it, and then we'll figure out the legality.
wow. Thank you so much, Alex. I personally enjoyed your last statement, right? Get the work done. Yes, formalities are great, but it's the actual work. And I believe that that's also what would help this suit members maybe say, okay, you know what, I know that I have equity here, but I need to get the, I guess that's enough fuel
Mm-hmm.
to make them get the work done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for Vynture, how do you help creators believe that whatever it is that you're doing as creators,
Mm-hmm.
how can they see themselves as true contributors to the economy and as founders? Because
Mm-hmm.
before the advent of creators, it all started from somebody taking on their microphone or taking their camera and then they're just sharing their experiences, and before they realize it, people are coming into their spaces. They are earning deals, having contracts, becoming brand
Mm-hmm.
ambassadors. And well, just like you rightly said, nobody can really remember what life was like before the advent of Instagram and whatnot. And now they are now content
Mm-hmm.
creators, brand influencers, and the like. So, what is that significant mind shift that a creator has to make for them to realize that they're economic drivers and they're also founders, they're also business
Mm-hmm.
owners?
First, I would say they should realize that they are storytellers, and storytellers
Hmm.
are the drivers of culture, right? Across multiple generations, we've seen culture is shaped by music, is shaped by uh, movies, and is shaped by sport. So if you are able to do something that connects people across these three things in movie, in music, in sport, one of my mentors would say you would get into people's pockets if you determine how they play, and how, how they eat, how they play, how they sleep. He listed a lot of things, but I love how to
Yeah.
play because play
Hmm.
is what connects us. Play, play is a very. Are you there?
Please go
Oh,
on.
okay. Play is a psychological um, principle, as a matter of fact, because for us to play together, we must agree on on the parameters and on the rules of that play. If I go against the rules, that would mean I'm not, very well matured, as a matter of fact. So when you have a creator who is helping you play, they can then make you spend money on that level, um, which is why they have now become a driver of economic value on multiple levels. Um, a brand would see that people congregate under this person's post. So value flows in the direction of attention. So businesses, this creator, and they check their comment section, they check their likes, they check their engagement, and it reaches as people, and it reaches a particular, range of people. That is when
Demographic.
yeah, that's when you begin to see what you are as a creator. Like you have much more power than just um the quality of the mic that you buy. Right? What you
Hmm.
share connects with this person and this person and this person, and then they then share it with the people that they also are friends with. The power that you have is the story that you are able to tell. And the power of that story is how deep it connects and resonates with the audience. So when we tell the story from from history. That look at the last person that connected with people based on story. See what they are able to do. Look at this person also,
Mm.
see what they were able to do. Look at this person, see what they're able to do. So see your own story as important. It needs to be told, and that it can after it's told properly, it can then attract economic value to you. It's easy to convince people when there's an economic value. One. Second, it is easy to also um, convince people when they see that their story is impactful, is changing people from the core of their being, is transforming lives, is giving some set of people voice, like your podcast, says. Right? There are some
Yes.
people that cannot speak for themselves, but then the creator then begin to bring their story to limelight, shine a light on a story that would otherwise not be heard
I'll be
if not
heard.
for this
Yeah.
creator. So when your work is that far reaching, then
Mm.
it is easier to communicate whatsoever Venture wants to do. Um, if you look at Abraham, he was a
Yeah.
nepo baby. I hope you know. He was,
What is the context of what you just said? Give us context.
yeah. So Abraham was good. He didn't need to go into lands that I will show you. He was taken care of. He was in his father's house, Terah's house. So it was
Mm.
being attended to. He left home with servants.
Okay.
So it was
Confirm
proper,
nepo
like
baby.
owó wà ńlẹ̀ bí ilẹ̀ bí ẹ̀mí jígẹ̀
One,
ṣìkìṣìkì.
one is water.
It was a proper Odogo when he left.
Mm.
So why did he go? Right? We can deduce from that he did not go specifically for the financial or economic possibility because he already has it. What he probably, or one of the things that drove him to leave, is that there is that through you I will bless that was
Yeah.
included in the promise. So
Mhm.
he was looking for much more than what will benefit him.
Hmm.
So the blessings of the multitudes that are connected to you is one of the reasons that drove him to leave his father's house. Because
Hmm.
everywhere soft, everywhere still, right? And then he started walking aimlessly, as a matter of fact, because he didn't know where he was going, right? So I said that to say that there are some people who, in your conversation with them, the moment you realize, okay, money is not this person's motivation, then you
Problem.
go ahead.
Yeah.
What is the motivation? What would cause them to do so? Yeah, I went that to come here to say multiple levels of motivation drive people to do stuff. When you find that people are easy to motivate.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. I mean, that was quite expository, if you ask me. That was pretty expository. Now, paycheck value relies entirely on anonymous, honest data, right? And
Mhm,
I know that
mhm.
it's going to launch in November, if I'm
No,
correct.
31st of October.
October, okay, 31st of October, fantastic. Now, what's the biggest hurdles in building a trusted community from the ground up in the African professional landscape? Because for you to get this data, you have to go through HR, you have to ask questions because, again, they're basically divulging what some people might consider, um, what's that word now? Classified information. So, how do you intend to jump and pass all these hurdles?
Kò le rárá.
I love the energy. As in, and that's no, actually, it's not that deep, sister. Please
Kò
go
lọ
on.
far rárá. Kò lọ far rárá. Like it's not. We are not talking to HRs. We are not talking to the organizations themselves to get this
Okay.
information. What we're doing is, let's say you work with Money Point now. I don't
Yeah.
need to know your name. I don't need to have your work email. I don't even need to know um, your HR. The only person I need is you.
Okay.
I come to you, or you find the platform, peercheck.africa, bam. You, what do you want to do? Is it to tell us? So, the, to answer the first question, the singular hurdle that we face is Africans seemingly, uh, or Africans' tradition of humility in concealing how much they make, how much money they have, you know.
Okay.
So, which is
Okay.
very paradoxical or ironic because the same set of people, Africans, are the ones who show off the most, right? They want to buy the latest car, they want to buy the latest phone, they want to eat and then show people what they are eating. All of those things they like to do, carry me, like show off and all of that. However, when it comes to intimate um, information like salary, whatever, they don't want to share that. Maybe in a group or in a group setting physically. Oh, how much you make? Oh, I make 300K monthly. People don't want to do that, right? Maybe there's a ego play there or what have you, or oh, I don't want them to build me, da 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 da. So how we are the face, that's the biggest. But how we are solving that is to make the information you provide entirely anonymous. We don't need to know your name. We don't need to know anything else than I work at Money Point.
Mm-hmm.
This is my level or this is my stage. I'm a senior product designer, Money Point. I make 700K monthly. Okpari,
Mm.
right? Don't give any other information. Even our technology, the backend would not even store your IP address, meaning um, maybe your
I'm trying
device
to trace where
information.
you're standing. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need your device information. We don't need your location. We don't need any of that. We just need that data. That data is what would help other people and most likely would help you in the future also. If you need to move to another place, you want to see what those people are doing also. So it's a play
Mm-hmm.
on community, which is what we are at our core as Africans. We're communal, you know. We have a proverb say, Oju kini kan lo ń wo ọmọ dàgbà," something like that. Igba oju, right? 200
Guys,
eyes, meaning your
whatever
lens
you're.
is
Yeah.
take care of it.
Well, typically,
Right.
it takes a
So
village to
we
raise a child. That's like the
to
English
raise
interpretation of
how
that.
that is it. Right. So if we transpose that into this context, it takes a village to take care of a professional properly. So
Mm.
if a village take care of you, then the village will take care of
Other
other people.
people.
You get so it's just as simple. So it's anonymous. Nobody will see you. Nobody will know you are. No, pretty clean.
All right. I like that. But back to creators.
Hmm.
Now I understand that. I mean, like rightly said, for startups, by the time you build to a point, you then start to attract investors,
Hmm.
right? So how can you adapt that model to creators?
That's one of the
Because
things that we're actually building. Self, I'm
so, sorry,
listening.
hold on. Before you
Mhm.
answer that question, we've had instances of certain creators who have been erratic in the media space lately, and
Mhm.
it can be, and it's entirely different from music,
Mhm.
the creator economy. Even though yes, you say being a musician is part of it, but it, there's a lot of structure in the music industry or in the music economy, but down to the creator economy, it's based off of their own personal platforms, right? The amount of the traffic on their platforms. How do we then get them to get to a point where they start operating as businesses to attract investors?
I mean, so that's the entire thesis thesis behind Vynture to say Creators are also businesses and should be treated as such.
Mm.
We recognize that, but most creators do not recognize that. They see themselves as, oh, I'm just content machine. I just create content. Da, 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 da. Auntie, calm down. So about fair. If you do
Did
this,
you have
as-
did you have to do that, Alex? Did you really have to do that? Please go on.
if you want to compete globally, there's a way to think about these
Mm.
things. Even as professionals, there's something we already know that we've known for ages past. Skill is different from talent. Everybody is talented at one thing or another, but nobody will pay you for your talent until you refine it to become a skill, right? And then you package your skill in an offering. That offering is what people will pay for, because if you are skillful, alala lala, it did not concern me. But if you have
What
now
in the
positioned
world is halal? Ah, Alex, body, why you like this? Why? What in God's mother F is that? Please go. Please go on.
alala lala is a close cousin to lala toroke lolongo. It's doing
You have a definition for that. My God. Alex,
now.
continue.
So
Please go on.
if you have a skill, that's all the good, like all the best for you. Congratulations. But if your skill does not solve any problem for anybody, nobody's gonna care. So now that is even a skill that has been refined from a talent. If it does not provide a particular solution to a meaningful problem, nobody's gonna pay attention to you.
Mm.
Now, drill it back down to talent. Now you are a talented creator. You can jab, you can vibe, you can cruise, you can make people laugh, you can make people cry. As a matter of fact, you're talented. Maybe you have even turned it into a skill. Like you're skillful in that. You've learned how to refine your communication. You're so good at it. Great. But if even in that skill, if you have not turned it into something people can pay for, nobody will pay. No brands will come. Now, one of the easiest, straight to the point way to turn your skill into something people can pay for is to create a product from it.
Mm.
So usually that product is what investors would invest in. Now,
Mm.
see, even the startups that are created, why did they not invest in me as the designer? It not
Mm.
really go far. There are some companies that have a model on that level where they will train you and then
Mm-hmm.
farm you out.
Mm.
And Della has done it. So they will train you as a backend developer, whatever, and then farm you out to somebody, and then that person pay them. They pay you. They'll take their cut out of that payment because they've trained
That's
you for a
interesting.
while, right? That's a model that people use. So it means you as a designer, as a random designer, does not solve any problem for anybody until you say, oh, this is what I'm able to do. Brands, product, motion. There are multiple levels of design. Like there's brands, there's product, there's motion, there's illustrator. Who are you? There's even industrial design. So when you turn it
Mm.
into something that people can pay for, then they can pay for it, right? And then someone else can invest in it because someone is able to pay for it. So if they invest in it, you're able to scale your operations, then you can reach more people, then more people can pay for it, and then the investors can get their money back. Nobody's going to give you free money. So as a
Mm.
creator, if I come to you now and I give you money, where are you going with that money? What do you want to do with it? That's the question that most creators cannot answer. So if you have 10,000 followers today and I give you money and it becomes 100,000 followers, does that make you money? No.
Mm.
So why should I give you money? You have 5 million followers today, and you say I should invest money. It's 10,000 followers, maybe 50K USD. Okay, great. 5 million becomes 7 million. Does he make money? And able to say that he dependent on to make money
Alex,
and
you're actually breaking at this point. Hi, Alex. Oh, dear. Alex, can you hear me?
can you
It was breaking. I want to be sure that you're clear now.
yes, I can hear you loud and
It is still breaking. I can. Okay, I think it's getting better.
clear.
Can you say something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it clear? Is it clear? Wow, 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 idiot. Wow,
It's
wow,
better now.
wow, 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 idiot.
It- Excuse me, sir. You are literally on the conversation. Okay, so can you just go back to
So,
where you dropped it off?
right. So you have 100,000
You're talking
followers,
about how
and you say I should give you
the
10,000.
number of followers. Yes.
Yeah. So if I give you that 10k for 10k USK followers to 150k, so how do I get my 10k back? What people are not able to recognize is much more than my platform. What makes me a business is products that I've created from that platform. What makes me what makes me someone that investors should take seriously is the products I've created from having a platform. So that product is what people don't have.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast has literally a game show on Prime. Investors can back that up. It's easy.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So it's easy to back
Definitely,
that up.
because they know that he will sell.
Did you get?
He's a household name for crying out loud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, name. So one of the easiest way for people that people now start doing also is to go on YouTube, because YouTube will pay da 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 da. Fine, but what if you don't reach monetization quickly? How will you make money? So the job that creators are failing to do is to drill down their community and find the actual people that are their people, that they are their audience, that are your core fans,
Audience.
not just the random people that like here and there. Your core audience, those are the people who you create a product for, and they will buy from you. And then you take that traction to investors. That's what they will now pay for. They cannot just
Fantastic.
they cannot invest in you because you have 100,000 followers.
Hmm.
Have you seen 100,000 followers that have 200 views?
Ah. Mm. 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 Let's not go there because if I start, we will not finish this conversation today.
Exactly. Yeah, no. So yeah.
If we actually go in that direction, you know what? Now that you've taught that side, I remember seeing a particular creator who happens to play in the industry that I play in, and I'm like, oh, 15,000 followers, and I check, the posts and everything, and the engagement is really interesting. You see, like 24 likes. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, you are 15K. What? It's, the it's not directly proportional because even though I have also come to understand the place of the algorithm, there's that
Mm,
understanding, and which is why it's important that as creators you need to check your insights, the analytics of how your post or your content is doing, and try to apply the suggestion that the app is telling you to do. Even though some people they call themselves social media managers, where they actually do some try and error to see how, because now I'll make myself as an example. Remember those time where I 12 and can you hear me?
mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I remember when I suppose, and all I would get is crickets. But now something happened recently, and I just said, okay, let me just try posting at
Mm-hmm.
this time of the night, and I realized that the dynamics have changed, and that's because when I
Mm-hmm.
checked it with my insights, it was literally the suggestion that Instagram had been giving me. It felt
Mm,
about that same timeline that Instagram have given me. Now I have to exercise every level of self-control because I'm like, even if I'm itching to post a particular content, I would have to maximize my Instagram stories. But if I want this content to go far, I need to work within that timeline.
Mm.
Because again, I realized that certain creators follow that timeline. And now it then works in a way that when people then open their app in the morning, your content is the first thing they see. So I'm like, oh wow. Oh, what a miracle. Because again, I started to understand. I started to wonder, why is that
Mm.
when I on this app, I see this person, but I realized that they had posted their content at certain time, of the evenings, and I'm wondering, this person is getting into. No, they are being strategic in their positioning. So yeah, I feel like it's also important that creators know how the platforms that they work with, how it works for them, so that the number of followers and the engagement, there's no it there won't be rather a disparity between both indices. Now, because of our time, we have to run, and I honestly have been trying not to go in this direction, but because it's my show, I can do and undo.
Mm.
Do you understand? Yeah. So, um, can you hear me, Alex? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Stop blushing. Stop blushing. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. So,
I can hear
being a
you. I'm trying
creator
to
is
what
good.
you're
It's
trying
amazing. You can create.
to
You're running two companies. Okay, calm down. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, creator, founder of two organizations, creators this, employees this. How do you then manage that front with the home front as a husband? Because the common narrative is, oh, most men, more than once they are focused on work, they don't really pay attention to their family, like that. And growing up, these were the narratives that were common when we were growing up, right? I mean, give or take, even if you're old, you are not like a 70s baby. Or even if you want to be 80s baby, maybe like 1 or 2 years, maybe like 88, 89 ish. But how are you able to create the balance, or how are you able to navigate being a founder, solving problems? Okay, I think the network has taken Alex out for a bit, and I believe that he will join us shortly. But by the way, this is the Find Your Voice and Own Your Space series. My name is Jadisola Adewodun, and I've been an amazing host. Okay, Alex is back now, and we are live on YouTube at Lady Jade Global and on LinkedIn at Jadisola Adewodun. Alex, it's now I'm just seeing your fine face
really,
and the freshness of your beard.
you know.
Yes, before we were seeing it in what's it called? Mosaic form. Yes. We're seeing it in mosaic form, but now we can see you clean and clear without any interruption. Okay. I remember there was a time where you were advertising beard oil. Please, is that business is that business still alive? Because at the time where you were touching people that did not have beards, that you were shaming them, you were beard shaming people.
No,
Is
but
that business still running?
so we morphed that into a um, male empowerment uh, brand. So
Oh, okay.
it was I've forgotten the former name. It became Main Man, and Main Man story is that we want to awaken men to their responsibility to protect, to
Mm,
provide, and to persevere in the face of
mm,
challenges.
mm,
You know, so protect is physical strength. Provide is financial strength, and then to persevere in the face of challenges. Right. So that's the
mhm,
three pillars of what we want to do, which is to this is why God creates you to be a masculine individual. You cannot be doing anyhow. You have to do the hard things because you're called to be a man, right?
mm.
So it
Okay.
morphed. It has morphed into it, and then there's a so That the merch side of things can still attack the beardless men a bit, just a tiny little bit, but the cowboy will do
Justice for beardless
it.
men. See, they are the women in their lives love them like that. Please stop mentioning them. So back to my question. How do you, I mean, just like you rightly said about the
I
main
mean,
man,
who am I to complain?
it's okay, it's all right. So just like you've talked about and highlighted the three parts of the main man, how are you able to navigate solving other people's problems and solving the needs of your immediate family after you solve the problem of the
On a
world?
daily basis.
Okay, all right, give it to us. Drop it like it's hot.
A day at a time, right? There's no structure to it. There's no method to the madness. It's just what is currently in front of me. How can I do what Jesus said? To do it
Mm,
with all my might and all my heart and all my strength as unto God. Right? So whatsoever is in front of me, I take that and I execute as deeply as possible, as meaningfully as possible. Is it family? Is it fun? Is it work? Is it friendship? Is it learning? You take everything and you do it to the best. I used to tell people that I'm a passionate individual. Whatever I do passionately. I'm having a conversation with you. You think you're the only person in the world. If I'm playing, I would laugh meaningfully. If I'm, you know, teaching, talking, I do everything to the best of my ability every single time. You get so. Um, it doesn't mean that I do not mess up. Some mess up also. This is the danger of being a human. Some mess up would also be that you will mess up to the best of your ability, right?
wow.
And we need
Well,
to be grace.
pardon me, please. How do you mess up to the best of your ability, bro?
I go
How?
like give you. I don't feel like give you.
I agree. I agree.
You would
Everything
mess
you
up.
say, I agree.
And it would. You, hmm, this is important. Only Jesus that can help you, and
Mm, mm-hmm,
then He would then help you. Not
mm,
because you. So you just found His help at that moment, and then you use it and it gets you out of it, and then you forget that that ever happened, and then you're able to even tell the people coming after you to say, don't do that, oh, you move fall down. um it's just looking at whatsoever is in
lójú ẹ̀
front of
máa bó.
you. Ojú ẹ̀ máa bò lọ́pọ̀
Yeah.
lápá bí. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Alex. This is one of the most laughter inducing sessions I've had. Yeah, I mean, in the longest, I mean, all of my sessions, we always have a special fun with each of our speakers, but thank you for bearing your heart out in the most realist way
Pleasure.
possible. If there's any grammar like that, what will then be your final words to anyone? Um, I want to take a cue, or yes, I want to take a cue from what you had said that your mentor's wife said to you, that you're not transitioning, you're only manifesting a different expression of yourself. Now, what will you then say to
Mhm.
someone who is watching this video or watching this live or who will watch this video at the junction where they need to manifest another expression of themselves? What will you tell them?
Hmm.
How will you tell them to move ahead?
That is a dangerous place to be, me now,
Mm,
because no, no singular statement would attend to everybody, because they are all in different stages
mm.
of their life.
Phase of
Do
life.
one, make money from that. If I meet somebody who has done something before and they want to do many other things, I would say do hard things. If I meet two people, if I meet another person who have done more multiple things and now trying to do one, I would say nothing is worthy of pursuing if it doesn't come with a level of pain, right? So, not advice for multiple levels of
Hmm.
people. Somebody said men are in stages and life is in phases. So, what phase are you in? It determines what word is right for you, right? So, for some people, I would say stop learning, go and make money, because learning without earning will lead to frustration. You'll be passionately broke.
Hmm.
Then there are some people who are earning, but what they should be doing is actually creating, you know,
Hmm.
building stuff, right? So that's another set of people. And then there's someone who is building and is feeling faint in heart because it's too hard. But nothing is worth doing if it does not come with a
If it's so
level
hard.
of pain and uncomfortable and effort. Because a lot of people run away from stuff that make them feel uncomfortable. Right. So we need to get familiar with doing stuff that is hard. Because on the other side of things, on the other side of hard is soft. So to have a soft life, do hard things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alex Oyebade. This is really refreshing, and I'm super excited to finally have had you on this show. Thank you so much, Alex. It was a delight and a pleasure, and of course, to all of our viewers, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, we have plenty of people on YouTube that they've been hyping us this morning. A big shout out to Aki Sulire Gideon. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunde Lawantin. Thank you so much, sir. One of my ogas at the top. There's Owe Yokoyemi. Thank you so much. My bestie of 5 years, Olasunbolani. Thank you so much, girlie. I mean, I had already asked the question about, your C-suite executives before she then says, oh, how do they buy social? I mean, I'd already answered that question.
Mm,
That telepath is strong like that. And of course, the
nice.
mechanic. There's what a session this is. So thank you so much, everyone. Please do well to subscribe, like, share this video on YouTube, on every other social media platform that you'll find yourself, and of course on LinkedIn. Make sure that you make the noise, repost, repost, repost. Once again, thank you so much, the amazing, innovative, wise Alex
Yeah,
Oyebade. Thank you. And of course, we wish you
yeah.
the very best. And definitely, please let us know when you kick off with peer check so that we can also do one or two noise on LinkedIn for you. And I mean,
Thank you
definitely,
very
we
much.
could also bring you. We could also bring you for another exclusive for paycheck. Just let us know how that works and how we can yeah, so we can have like an exclusive episode just to talk about paycheck.
Thank you. So doing this,
Thank you.
thank you so much. I'm saying thank you on behalf of the people that will find these conversations, that will stumble on it
Yeah.
on a random day and encouragement, find inspiration and motivation to do. So I say thank you very much for what you're doing. This is a contribution to the ethos, to the globe. And I pray that all that you also desire will come to you in multiple folds. In Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah.
Amen. Goodbye, Alex. Bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was an episode. Do me a great favor because guess what? This is the 19th episode of the Find Your Voice and All Your Space series. I'm so excited. I mean, next week we'll have 20 episodes. I mean, anyways, don't let me get emotional. Let me just focus on up of this episode. Thank you so much, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share on our YouTube channel at Lady Jade Global, and of course on LinkedIn at Jadisola Dewodo. And of course, we will come your way again for another exciting episode. Have a lovely, phenomenal evening.